The Super Bowl is a mega event unlike anything else in the world today. It is the biggest sporting event in the US annually, and honestly, nothing even comes close. No other event in the country today brings eyeballs of not just casual football fans, but even those who have little to no interest in sports. According to Nielsen, last year's Super Bowl in Las Vegas between the Kansas City Chiefs and San Francisco 49ers averaged 124 million viewers. This is more than double of the average viewership in the United States for the NBA Finals, Stanley Cup Final, World Series, and Paris Olympics opening ceremony combined. This isn't even including the 62.5 million viewers from outside the US who watch the big game. But with the Super Bowl, the NFL doesn't just sell a game, it sells an experience. Over the years, the league has turned the second Sunday in February into what is essentially a national holiday. The event generates billions of dollars through ad revenue, ticket sales, and merchandise. This year, the cheapest ticket costs an insane $4,000. Fox sold 30 seconds of commercial airtime for a price tag of approximately $7 million. Demand was so high that Fox sold all the ad slots for the game by the first week of November, which is 3 months in advance. Grocery stores across the country stock up and run promotions during Super Bowl week. Sports betting sees record-breaking participation, with Super Bowl squares becoming a staple in office pools and watch parties. Last year alone, FanDuel reported handling over $370 million from over 14 million Super Bowl bets. For those who don't care much for football, the halftime show has become the event within the event. Every year, some of the biggest names in music take the stage to perform for thousands in the stands and millions watching on TV. 3 years ago at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, 50 Cent, Mary J. Blige, Kendrick Lamar, and Eminem delivered a show that has since racked over 320 million views on YouTube. This year's Super Bowl in New Orleans will feature the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles in a highly anticipated rematch from 2 years ago. And if history is any indication, regardless of the game's outcome, it will once again deliver unforgettable commercials, highlights, and moments. The Super Bowl is more than just a sporting event. It's a cultural phenomenon that reunites people from all walks of life, whether they're passionate football fans or they're just there for the halftime show and snacks. But how exactly did the NFL turn this event into the ultimate sports cash cow? Well, to answer that, let's first define what a cash cow is. In the context of the BCG matrix, a cash cow is a product or service that generates consistent revenue while holding a dominant market share. A key characteristic of a cash cow is that it typically experiences low to stagnant growth but remains a reliable source of income. Now let's apply this concept to the Super Bowl. The NFL has designed the event so perfectly that it doesn't need to change much, if anything, about its formula for the foreseeable future. Why? Because the Super Bowl generates enormous revenue year after year, and it accounts for a significant portion of the league's overall earnings. It's a well-oiled machine that thrives on established success. But how did the Super Bowl become this reliable for the NFL? Let's go back in history. The very first edition of the event, played in 1967, wasn't even dubbed the name Super Bowl. Officially called the AFL-NFL World Championship game, it was created out of a necessity after a merger between two rival leagues. The game was held at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, but even with two league champions competing, the stadium wasn't sold out. There were still over 33,000 empty seats stretched across the stands, and tickets were just $12, which would be about $110 in 2025. CBS and NBC were selling 30-second commercials for a mere $42,000. Today, that same ad spot costs over 160 times as much. In other words, the first Super Bowl was more of an experiment, rather than the mega spectacle event that we know today. However, the first noteworthy Super Bowl moment came just 2 years later. In 1969, the New York Jets, led by quarterback Joe Namath, pulled off a shocking upset against the Baltimore Colts. The game became synonymous with drama and storytelling, due to Namath famously guaranteeing a victory beforehand despite the Jets being 18-point underdogs. And when he delivered, it cemented the game as a stage for legends to be made. Suddenly, the Super Bowl wasn't just about football. It was about drama, narrative, and spectacle. And throughout the 1970s, the Super Bowl steadily grew in popularity, fueled by rising TV viewership and iconic teams like the Pittsburgh Steelers and Dallas Cowboys, who won multiple Super Bowl championships during the decade. It wasn't just about the game itself, it became a moment for people to gather, celebrate, and be a part of a shared experience. By the 1980s, the NFL had perfected its strategy, recognizing that the Super Bowl could be more than just a game. It could be an entertainment powerhouse. The Super Bowl might be the only television program that many people watch solely for the commercials. As mentioned before, a 30-second ad costs around $7 million, and it's for good reason. Companies understand the cultural significance of the game in the United States, so they spend months crafting commercials designed to entertain and captivate the audience. Some of the most memorable Super Bowl ads have featured unexpected celebrity cameos, including Kanye West in the McDonald's 2022 commercial, Michael Jordan and Larry Bird for McDonald's in 1993, Betty White in Snickers' 2010 ad, Gordon Ramsay for Amazon in 2018, and even Drake in State Farm's 2021 commercial.
That's right. Drake from State Farm.
This tradition arguably traces back to one groundbreaking commercial, Apple's iconic 1984 ad. A parody of the famous George Orwell novel, 1984, the commercial introduced the first ever Macintosh personal computer and became a cultural sensation. It was replayed on news channels worldwide for weeks, reportedly driving $150 million in Mac sales within just 3 months. Creator of the commercial, Lee Clow, stated it was not originally intended to set the standard for Super Bowl commercials, but he has acknowledged its significant impact, as it has pushed companies' advertising during the game to create memorable and long-lasting commercials. This ad also set a precedent, demonstrating that the Super Bowl could be a powerful marketing platform for all companies, not just those in the sports industry. But the NFL didn't stop at commercials. They've turned the halftime into a spectacle that in some cases rivals the game itself. In its early days, the Super Bowl halftime show featured college marching bands and basic entertainment. But in 1993, one performance redefined the halftime show forever. Michael Jackson's halftime show during Super Bowl 27 is widely regarded as the greatest Super Bowl halftime performance of all time. His performance was the first to boost viewership between halves. It saw an audience of 133.4 million viewers in the United States and an insane 1.3 billion viewers worldwide. That same year, Guinness World Records named it the most watched television event in US history. Since then, the halftime show has become must-see TV for the average person and has starred household names like Rihanna, Prince, U2, Bruno Mars, Beyonce, and Madonna. This year, all eyes will be on Kendrick Lamar as he takes the stage, carrying on the tradition of legendary Super Bowl performances. Apple Music is now the presenting partner of the halftime show, paying the NFL a hefty $50 million annually for the sponsorship. The NFL has turned the halftime show into a cultural spectacle, uniting sports, music, and entertainment into one must-see event. It's not just the game, commercials, or the halftime show. Hosting the Super Bowl has become a badge of honor for cities, with local economies benefiting from millions in tourism and hospitality revenue. What was once just a championship game has evolved into a week-long spectacle, featuring numerous fan-friendly events that make the experience much more accessible to the local population. However, it's common practice for hotels in the host city to raise their rates to 3 or 4 times the normal level during the Super Bowl, while Airbnb listings can skyrocket. New Orleans rentals are ranging from $2,000 to $12,000 per night during the weekend. Depending on the source, estimates on Super Bowl revenue can range from $300 million to $1.3 billion. In 2008, a joint study by the NFL and Arizona State's NBA Sports Business Program estimated that Super Bowl 42 contributed $500.6 million to the greater Phoenix economy. 16 years later, the most recent Super Bowl reportedly generated $1 billion in economic impact for the Las Vegas area. With numbers like these, it's no surprise that cities across the country fiercely compete for the opportunity to host a big game. So why is the Super Bowl the NFL's ultimate cash cow? It's simple. The league doesn't just sell a game. They sold an experience. They turned this event into must-see TV, bringing together sports, music, and pop culture in a way no other event does. And because of this, they never have to change the formula behind it. It's the perfect storm of tradition, excitement, and commerce, and it shows no signs of slowing down. For football enthusiasts, the Kansas City Chiefs have become the league's new evil empire, with fans outside of Kansas City eager to see the Eagles dethrone them. For music lovers, Kendrick Lamar will take the stage, aiming to deliver a halftime show worthy of the event's legendary history. Meanwhile, $7 million commercials will have casual viewers and non-sports fans debating their favorites all day long on social media. And for the city of New Orleans and its surrounding areas, the Super Bowl will bring a massive boost in economic activities. Regardless of why you watch the Super Bowl, there's something in it for everyone. At the end of the day, the Super Bowl is more than just a championship game. It's a cultural touchstone that transcends sports. Whether you're in it for the game, the commercials, the halftime show, or just the excuse to throw a party, the Super Bowl has cemented itself as an annual tradition that unites millions across the globe. And with each passing year, the Super Bowl becomes more than just about football. It's a celebration of everything America loves, and it's here to stay. Thank you so much for watching the video, and my prediction for the game, I'll say Chiefs by a touchdown. Mahomes wins MVP. Take care, everybody.